Starting lineup: Timo, Wukong, Vigar, Jinx, Senna, up against Jax, Timo, Yone, Caitlyn, Morgana. Rating of the picks for a casual game: Timo as a top, 6. Vigar as a mid, 7. Jinx as a shooter, 5. Senna as a support, 7. Jax as a top, 9. Timo as a jungler, 0. Yone as a mid, 8. Caitlyn as a shooter, 10. Morgana as a support, 8. Let's put these champions on the enemy team in their proper positions here. Jax in a casual game is better fit to be a mid, as in a mid laner. His attack speed and his aggressive playstyle is gonna allow him to roam the map, go up against mages, go up and burst them down. That would be a 10 out of 10 pick. The problem with playing Jax in the top lane, even though he's still pure gold, is that we already don't see enough health and don't see enough armor in casual games. The reaction speed of casual players is much lower, which is why they need more health and armor to survive. Timo in the proper role would be in shooter slots. Timo should be where Jinx is, and that would be a 9. He would be very good at dealing a bunch of magic damage, tricking people, being protected by somebody else. Yone's proper slot would be shooter slot. That would be a 10 out of 10. He should be where Caitlyn is, because he's a glass cannon. And playing Yone in mid is going to work out for the pros, because they can leverage that insane damage. You've probably noticed yourself in games, when Yone is in mid, it is always the same thing. It either goes extremely well or extremely terrible. There is never an in-between. He either wins everything or he loses everything. Caitlyn is played in the proper position and is exactly where she should be. And Morgana would be a 9 played as a mid or a 10 played as a shooter. Morgana should be in the 3rd slot here or in the 4th slot, and we should have a tanky presence like a Leona where she is. And you can tell that out of the 5 slots here, out of the 5 enemy slots, 4 of them can be considered ridiculously good. All of them but Timo. Timo is the only one who has some limitations. Jax, Yone, Caitlyn, and Morgana are all all-stars, but they all purely rely on dealing damage, and you're just seeing them at their ugliest when they have to tank through everything all by themselves without any kind of protection or any kind of shield to hide behind. This is as ugly and as failed as you can make them. Moving on. Yeah, that typical Timo build, all-out offense, really doesn't work properly unless you put all your traps down. It really speaks a lot to what this Timo is doing here, that this Jax can afford to come all the way back with this kind of life points remaining. Don't really per se know what is so attractive about this typical Timo build. The fact that you know in advance that anybody can beat the S out of you, whoever gets close to you, it's never appealed to me. Maybe it's some kind of fetish that some people have of being small, petite, and cutesy or something. I don't know. Maybe it's some homosexual thing. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it doesn't really work unless you're able to use all of your tools in such a way that the enemy can never even touch you. And Timo, much unbeknownst to most people, but Timo is really, if I gave you a guess, whose little brother do you think Timo is? If you were to pause the video and take a guess right now, who's the brother of Teemo? Who's the big brother of Teemo? Because it isn't who you would think that it is. It's Shaco. Because just like Shaco, Teemo is somebody that you see literally nothing of in the higher echelons. Because if you would get Calyx Rookery, or you would get Umbral Glaive, or in some cases even simply Oracle Lens, you're basically going to neutralize the impact of Teemo almost entirely. If you are stupid enough to walk into his traps and not adjust your buy and your shopping patterns, Teemo is a monster, and he's one of the most popular bans, atrociously and ridiculously enough. I mean, to waste your ban on Teemo, but yeah, he is such a monster if, of course, you just agree to keep running into his traps. In this particular match, Teemo's traps have not killed anyone at any point. They have done nothing. You're essentially just standing there as Teemo with nothing but your little D in your hand. Because at the end of the day, like, that's all you got. If the traps don't really devastate people, you're effed. Probably, if you let the pros decide, one of the weakest champions in the game. If you simply counter his traps, he's done. Yeah, bottom lane turret here being a turning point in this matchup. And we're gonna have this very, what do I always say, like, Yone not really that much of a casual pick, not really that much of a casual champion. A person who's literally called Casual 17 NIT. And so what you end up thinking is like, oh, look at me, I'm Yone, I'm super tall. And so you start behaving like some kind of tough guy, and this is why I always say he doesn't fit that well in the casual mindset, because again, he's really more like Jinx than he is like Warwick. He doesn't literally have guns attached to him, but he is a shooter. If you turn him into a shield here for the ladies, which is what is happening, and this is what you get, right? Because you're not built like that. You don't have what it takes to protect anyone. You are a shooter. You are a damage dealer, not a protector. Undeniably, these two were a team here. There's definitely a lot of player morale being damaged here. You know, expecting Yone to protect them, and then it turns out like this. Most definitely, this felt like a losing moment for them. You get into that loser mindset, and then this is what you get. You get driven all the way back. Yeah, we see here a bit of a tribute to Oracle Lens, because even with Umbral Glaive equipped here, apparently it does not allow me to spot the traps in this case, which goes to show you that you should always have double and triple and quadruple the trap detection if you want it to properly work. And getting way too confident here, you can tell this person is a real Teemo lover here. You know, having so much confidence in those traps of yours that you set them up and you think they look so beautiful and you think you got us by the balls, you know, by making us run over the traps, and then obviously, like, I just take it like it's nothing. In this case, with Wit's End protecting me, that's like 45 magic resist, which is nothing, and I still barely feel it. And notice also the difference, Vigar is nearly dying from this. He doesn't have anti-magic, right? Just a little bit, just a dusting. A dusting, I always tell people, right? A dusting of armor, a dusting of magic resist. Look at how much it can do. You have Vigar here nearly healing over from this small little trap AoE. And you have me just taking it, and I don't even really realize that it hit me. Justice relying on the same trick over and over and over again simply will not do. Very bizarre things here, in my opinion. You have two people on the red side with a very interesting mindset. Teemo by himself thinking that he can go, again, like maybe the most passionate Teemo player I ever met, thinking that he himself is going to take down 4 people, which is like he keeps moving forward and forward and forward. It's an interesting mindset to have. For whatever reason, you seem to have been conditioned into believing that Teemo can just walk over anybody unprotected. We have cliches for a reason. We have returning statements for a reason. It's because they've been proven to be true. You have the one guy being a Teemo fanatic, and you have clearly the other guy being such a caricature of what, with picking Yone as it relates to the average casual's mindset. For a person literally to be called casual in his player name, emblematic for this visual deceit, this buying into this fake tale, this fake story about how you're gonna be the brave, strong Bushi here who's going to protect everyone and who's going to thank for everyone. And it's just like, you've been watching Tom Cruise or whatever, or you've been watching movies or whatever about what people like Yone would do in this type of situation, but this is not the way that he is put into League of Legends, and I can really understand that with this kind of visual effect and this kind of execution in the gameplay, that is very difficult to understand for somebody who doesn't take the game seriously, which is why you should stay away from him as a casual for the most part. Because if you would ask true casuals who is tougher, Warwick or Yone, and they would probably not be able to answer, which is insane, of course, because there's no comparison whatsoever. Yone is a complete glass cannon. You cannot do this kind of thing on Yone. You can come in whenever massive damage has to be dealt, and then you have to go back out. He doesn't trade like this. He's not into long-term sustain or tanking. Yeah, this Jax saying, hey, I want no part of this. I've been taking enough beatings. You got Velgar and me. That's 2 people against 4 people here. We're gonna see the effect of Velgar's AoE here. And people consistently underestimate how much tank items can help you. You see, I got really tanky here after a while, so all you can do is run because you're simply not going to push me over. Yeah, and this is when you know that you won the game. This is a very smart and suitable surrender here. They're going to surrender after this play, and it's very well timed because here we are, and it's me and Vigar up against 4 enemies. So that's 2 up against 4. And we're also carrying the burden of having to handle the dragon, and we're still gonna beat you up. When 2 people can beat up 4 people, you know the game is over. And this is a beautiful example of the potential of Vigar, ironically actually a lot like Yone. Yone a lot like a bunch of champions that you would never think to compare him to, but the reality is both have extreme AoE, as it turns out, even though they look nothing alike. More ability cooldown. Wukong's mobility really goes up. When you can start spamming that Nimbus strike, you can start spamming those clones, you can really get around. And people are just not gonna get away from you anymore, even though I don't have boots of move. It's actually interesting. I'm learning on the job here now too, because I just realized why some people are so wild about Vigar. I finally get it. You know, Vigar, Aurora, and Yone are very similar. Extreme AoE, you can hit this whole area. Yeah, and then partially it's cutesy. It's cutesy, you know, to have after everything, without armor, without life points, this Yone legitimately think that he's going to stand up to me one-on-one. Wukong effectively not a glass cannon. taking a look at the scoreboard here, and we will start the counter today. I'll put it up on the screen right now. This will be the first day that we start counting, that I'm on teams where I am the only individual who buys protective items and armor and health, and we will see how long we can keep the streak going. So what to say in summary about Team 1 here? Everybody excluding myself, the reality is that you have purchased almost perfect items here. These were adult individuals who have made very responsible choices. Almost all of these are really good. The first point we can make is that people just like pain and are natural masochists. And how does this Jinx thing keep going forever? Jinx has to be one of the worst champions in the entire video game, easily. This is her being built entirely perfectly. This is perfection, and you could tell she did no damage whatsoever. So you're basically asking someone to 1. Get close. 2. Have pretty shitty skills. 3. To not deal a lot of damage. And to 4. Have nearly no life pool whatsoever. What a great character you are, Jinx. What an absolute great character you are. Yeah, maybe the devs are just having a little bit of fun, like over promoting her. She just got like 3 new skins once again. She's the billboard girl of everything and everybody. She's on every poster of League of Legends. She's the center figure of League of Legends. Maybe they're just trying to see like, hey, we're going to do some human experiment here and see if we can force people by mind effing them to play this horrendous character. Maybe if we put this horrendous character on enough posters, we can get everybody to obsess over her. That seems to be what is going on. And then the rest of the breakdown, you basically just have a check. You have Scandinavian boy here and you have French boy here who make it, and then you have this boy here who doesn't. And that is that at the end of the day. They all got all-out offensive items. It takes a lot of skill. It takes a lot of skill if you have no survivability items to end up with a positive record and a good score. That being said, sometimes you also just have to be a plain narcissist for it and just play ultra selfishly. So on this entire list, this individual, I smoke you, this individual is mistaken, and this individual is mistaken in boots. And everybody else on this entire list is nearly perfect. So very smart item choices in this matchup. Adult choices, grown-up choices. Yeah, with Jax, this should be Navori Flicker Blade or something similar, Kraken, and this is wrong here. You shouldn't get these boots. And for Morgana, these boots are completely excessive, and you probably just literally got them because you thought they looked feminine or something. This Caitlyn player has a nearly perfect set of items here. This Yone player is quite good as well. There is not much to criticize here. You have individuals hitting their head on the same stone and the same rock over and over and over and over and over again when it comes to we should all be shooters, we should all be gunmen, we should all be all-out offensive and kill steal from each other, because we love to lose games. We love to lose in life, and we love to lose games. You all being shooters, you made good item choices.
Show me the path. My journey's only beginning. My place is at the top. try to stop me. Every mistake is a lesson. You got it. Who questions my ability? Bring me a real challenge.
First blood. An ally has been slain.
Adapt to all situations. Never settle for second. Show me the path. My place is at the top.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Been waiting for this. My journey's only beginning. You got it.
Enemy killing spree. An enemy has been slain.
Every mistake is a lesson. Adapt to all situations. Never settle for second.
An ally has been slain. You have slain an enemy.
Show me the path. Who questions my ability? My journey's only beginning. You got it. My place is at the top.
An enemy has been slain.
Every mistake.
Ally has been slain.
Bring me a real challenge.
Executed.
Never settle for second. Adapt to all
Turret
situations.
plate will fall soon. You have been slain. Shut down.
Who questions my ability?
Killing spree. An enemy has been slain. slain.
My journey's only beginning.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Show me the path. My place is at the top. You got it. Every mistake is a lesson.
An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Never settle for second.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Bring me
An
a real
ally
challenge.
has been slain.
Who questions my ability?
Your team has destroyed a turret.
My journey's only beginning.
An ally has been slain.
Show me the path.
Hmm.
An enemy has been slain.
My place is at the top. Adapt to all situations.
Enemy killing spree.
You got it.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Never settle for second. Who questions my ability?
You have slain an enemy.
Bring me a real challenge. Show me the path.
An enemy has been slain.
My journey's only beginning.
Shut down.
Adapt to all situations.
An enemy has been slain.
My place is at the top.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
You got it.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Every mistake is a lesson.
Your team has destroyed a turret. You have been slain. An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Never settle for second.
An enemy has been slain.
Adapt to all situations.
Shut down.
My place is at the top.
An ally has been slain.
My journey's only beginning.
And of course he gets it.
Your turret has been destroyed.
You got it. Every mistake is a lesson.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Has been slain. Rampage. An enemy has been slain.
Never settle for second. Bring me a real challenge.
Has been slain. Double kill. Aced.
Who questions my ability? Show me the path. Adapt to all situations.
An ally has been slain.
My place is at the top.
An ally has been slain.
You got it. never settle for second. Just try to stop me.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret.
Who questions my ability?
Your team has destroyed a turret. An enemy has been slain. Your team has destroyed a turret.
Bring me a real challenge.
An ally has been slain.
Adapt to all situations.
An ally has been slain.
Embrace them.
You got it.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
Every mistake is a lesson. Been waiting for this. My journey's only beginning.